everyone, Sabrina here from Scrappy Tales Crafts, and today I'm going to be creating 2 Christmas cards using some Scrappy Tales products. Some of them are holiday related and some are not, so I want to show you how you can stretch your supplies to work for Christmas cards. So I know it's May, but I just thought it would be fun, and I always kind of throughout the year create my Christmas cards. So I just showed you all the stamp sets that I am using. I stamped a couple images from each set from Home Furnishings, German Winter Village, and Christmas Market. And I'm just going to go ahead and color them all in with my Copic markers. I stamped the images out with Memento Tuxedo Black ink, which is an alcohol-friendly ink, so nothing is going to smear. And whenever I color with my Copics, I always start from my darkest color and move out to my lightest. The focus of this video is definitely more on the die set that I'm going to be using to create my pop-up card and my flat slimline card. So I'm not going to show you all the coloring, and I'm going to quickly go through this portion of the video. But I always do enjoy watching people color for part of the video. It's very calming for me, so I included some of it. And I do have the caps on screen. So I wanted to create some Christmas cards using the Slimline Pop-Up Birdhouse die set and the Neighborhood House add-on because Jennifer Mcguire recently posted a video, actually today. I don't know if my video is going up today or tomorrow, but I was kind of anticipating her video to come, and I thought it would be great to give you guys some more inspiration using the same products she featured in her video. And she did mention that the 2 dies would be perfect for Christmas cards. So yeah, I love how these turned out. Very cute. You can see that I'm coloring the furniture in more warm colors. So I'm definitely going for a traditional Christmas color scheme. And while I color, I do want to address the elephant in the room, and that is that I have not posted a video in at least 2 months. And I do apologize for that. I have been itching to get back into the craft room, but as soon as I finish one task, another task comes up. So business has been picking up, and I've just kind of been managing all of my little jobs that I have to do. And I've also been prepping a lot for our next launch, which is going to be on June 4th. A couple of you guys have asked about it. And Sneak Week is going to be starting on Monday. So hopefully by starting Sneak Week, I will be able to get back onto my usual scheduled postings. So don't worry, I am perfectly fine. A couple of you have asked, where I've been and if I'm okay. I am. I've just been really busy, and I had to let go of a couple things. So if you've been on the Scrappy Tales website recently, you might have noticed that we took down all of our handmade greeting cards. And that's mainly because it was taking up way too much time. That's why I've mainly been gone. And I want to prioritize YouTube and making videos and content for you guys. So we decided that we're not taking on any more custom card order clients. And if we do post cards, we're going to post them on our Etsy shop because that's always where most of our cards sold anyway. And it separates the handmade greeting card side of the business from our stamps and dies. So yes, there are a couple changes happening, but I think it's for the best because ultimately this is the direction I would like to go. And illustrating, designing, and card making are my 3 passions. And doing the custom orders, while I love doing them as well, they just take up way too much time. So if you are a card customer, just know that the cards that I feature in my videos are now just going to be posted on my Etsy shop. And I do have that in my video description. But what I really love to do now is work with my own stamps and dies and take my time on the cards that I put into my videos to really showcase the versatility of our stamps and dies. So I'm really excited about the future, and our summer collection I am beyond excited for. It's a big one, and it has like a fairy tale theme. So I think it works well for a summer collection, but a lot of the images can work well for spring and fall cards. So I can't wait to showcase that. We're also introducing 2 new product lines. So a lot is happening here over at the Scrappy Tales shop. Well, it's not really a shop, it's more of a closet, but it is slowly growing. And that's very exciting. I love doing what I do now. And this is a lot of coloring. I didn't think I left this much in, but I think this is the last image. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is cut the bricks for my two houses. I have a red panel that I ink blended some fired brick distress ink on, and I'm just cutting that through with the slimline brick background. And you can see that I added a piece of scrap cardstock on top, and that was basically to try to keep as many bricks inside the die as possible. So that worked out surprisingly well. I wasn't sure. So I'm going to do the same thing with my white panel. Actually, this is gray, and I ink blended black soot. Very messy, because these are just going to be background bricks. So here is the Slimline Pop-Up Birdhouse and the Neighborhood House add-on. These are the two dies I'm going to be using for my two cards today. So I cut two birdhouse bases from white cardstock, and you can see I'm going crazy with my ATG tape, just trying to fill this entire panel with glue, or not glue, tape, so that I can inlay all my little bricks. So this piece I'm gluing down here is just solid gray cardstock. I didn't do any ink blending on this. So this is the mortar of the bricks, and then I'm going to use that ink blended piece that has the same gray cardstock but with the black soot ink, and I'm going to inlay the bricks. And I'm starting from the bottom and going all the way to the top. I know it looks like it's a lot of work, but it's not. I think it probably took about 15 minutes to do it all, and it's very relaxing. I love this process. And I am taking the bricks from the bottom to the top. I am kind of going in order, but I am not gluing them the exact way I cut them. So I'm offsetting the lighter ones and the darker ones to really get that random brick look. I think it turned out really nice. So I'm not going to show you all of this, and I did do the same thing with my red brick. And for the mortar on the red brick, I went with like a cream cardstock. So the contrast is a bit more on the red one, whereas this is more subtle. So I'm going to do the same thing with the chimney, which comes in the house add-on. So you can see I just glued it to the leftover space at the top. And again, I will inlay some more bricks. And then once that is completely full, I will flip the panel around and trim off the excess. So that is my last brick. I'll go ahead and flip this around. I'm sorry the lighting is odd. It will improve in just a second here. It's like I forgot how to film. It's been so long. And you can see on the top right, I have all of my images die cut. So I did kind of have an idea of how I wanted these two cards to look. So this gray brick is going to be the pop-up. And inside the house, I'm going to add all that furniture. All right, so I wanted to Christmasify, if that's a word, this house. So I'm taking a couple Hero Arts dies. This one came in a card kit, and here I'm showing you the stamp set, which would also be perfect for the inside of the house. If you have this set, use it for Christmas. I'm going to use that little dog on the rug and the welcome rug. But the furniture in home furnishings is much smaller, so I went with that. But I think that staircase would be awesome inside this slimline house. All right, so I have a lot of die cut pieces. Those little tiny red squares and rectangles, those are the details for the door. And then the gray pieces are the roof and like the steps of the house. So here you can see the lighting is much better. I want to shade these cardstock pieces. So for the roof, I'm using a Hero Arts black ink. For the wreaths, I'm using a Hero Arts dark green. Just using finger daubers here. And it's just going to add some nice dimension. Obviously, you don't have to do this, but I love details. And I cut another roof from white cardstock, and I used I used my scissors to hand cut some snow for the top of my roof. And I'm going to use that leftover snow, you can see over to the right, for the roof I'm going to add to the back of my house. So I only needed to cut one white roof to create two snowy rooftops. So here I'm kind of laying out my card design. That cute little couple is from German Winter Village. I know they're not really proportionate to the house, but I still thought they were cute. I think that's my favorite image in all the stamp sets that Scrappy Tales has come out with. All right, so I laid out all my elements because I needed to know where I want to cut my window openings, and that neighborhood house includes all of these dies to cut the windows from your card base. So that's what I'm doing here. And this is fun because now you can see what's inside the house. So I'm going to cut that second window, and then I will be ready to decorate. Now, unfortunately, like I said, I forgot how to film, and unfortunately, I did not hit record on me decorating the inside of the house. I do showcase how I decorated the outside, so I'm going to do that now. But unfortunately, I did not show how to even construct the pop-up. I do have a couple videos already on my channel, though, if you want to see how you can attach the connector piece, and I'm sure most of you saw Jennifer's tutorial, so. Anyway, that door from the neighborhood house add-on can open to reveal what's inside the house, so I was just kind of reinforcing the score lines on that, and then I'll go ahead and add some acetate behind the window openings so that they look like glass. And then I will go ahead and glue all of my detail pieces to the door. And I love that this door is a Dutch door so that you can see more of what's inside the house. And all these teeny tiny pieces are included. And here I'm just adding that Hero Arts wreath. And then I'll add the doorknobs. I think it would be cute to use brads or gems as the doorknobs, but I just used what came in the die set. You can see I even added a red bow to the wreath. That's how much I love paper piecing and adding details. All right, so my door is basically finished here. I'm going to trim off the excess acetate. And then I'm going to pull in my little steps, and these are actually the bird perches in that birdhouse pop-up, but I'm going to use them as like stepping steps, really. I guess like a staircase for my door, shall I rephrase? So I'm gluing this staircase first before I glue my door. I do want to make sure that those doors can open, so I have to make sure I'm not overlapping the steps on top. I'm also making sure I'm only gluing the pieces on the outside of the door so that they don't close shut. All right, so now I'm just adding the staircase. I am going to trim the longer piece. I thought about keeping it long, but I thought it then kind of looked too much like a birdhouse, so I just cut that down, and then I'll add my roof line. And my windows. So I cut those from black cardstock. And you don't have to cut the windows, and in my second card I show that you can just use the coordinating shadow layer to add some yellow cardstock to make it look like the windows are glowing. So I wanted to add a little bit more snow. I thought at first I would add some snow to the door, but I didn't like the way that looked. So instead, I'm adding snow to my flower boxes. And I'm just freehand cutting that. I'm going to add a flower box underneath each window. And that top half circle window is smaller. So you're going to see I'm going to end up trimming my flower box a little bit smaller to match that size better. And in that Hero Arts die set, that kit, there's little topiaries that you can put next to the door. I thought about doing that, but I thought the trees would also be cute. So here's my welcome mat. I went with the white one. And then I will add my various stamped images. This just really brings it to life. And my in-laws actually are all in the real estate business. So my sister-in-law is a residential real estate agent, and I showed her this card and she loves it so much. She wants me to make her a set, of different colors and different door colors, because that's like a major trend here in Florida. The door color can sell a house, I swear. And she told me to include EST.2021. I was like, that is genius. That is the cutest idea I've ever heard. And then on a couple of them, I'll put like the number of the house. All right, so after finishing this, I felt like I needed another red and green element at the top of the house. So I am using the Lawn Fawn mini string of lights, and I cut the string from black and the lights from red and green, and look how cute that is. Like, come on. Does that not finish the house? I love this die so much. I'm going to add a little bit of dimension to the lights. Again, completely unnecessary. I just love these little details. So this is just a Copic marker that's slightly darker than the green and the red. I'm also going to go in with my white gel pen and add some highlights to the lights. If you really want to go all out with these, you can add glossy accents to them, but I was too impatient to wait for them to dry. So I might go back and do that later. So yeah, this would be really cute for a couple or a family that just purchased a new home, especially if you add that house number. And this reminds me of my husband and I with that little couple at the bottom, because we actually, I guess last year, bought a house right before Christmas. So I thought this was cute. All right, so here's the connector pieces, and I am showing you how to fold them. Basically, you do an accordion fold, so mountain, valley, mountain to create that W shape, and then you add double-sided tape to each of the side tabs, and then you connect your front panel to your back panel, which is going to be the same card base that I cut from white cardstock. And then inside the house, I added all of my furniture. I glued all of the pieces to that back panel. And when you open the door, that is going to reveal the cute little dog on the rug sleeping with the fireplace and the Christmas tree. Super darling. And because I cannot stop myself, I'm going to decorate the back. But that is, I guess, where you would put your custom message. I'm going to stamp my sentiment at the top. And this is from that same Hero Arts stamp set that says, "There's no place like home for the holidays." Very fitting for this card. And I'm going to add a little gift card holder. This is a Scrappy Tales die. I'm going to add a heart to the center, and I'm going to stamp Warm Wishes from the German Winter Village stamp. I used VersaFine for both sentiments, and I'm also going to add a little gray card that I blended with some black soot distress ink on the edges so I can write a little message. And that is that. That is the first card. Isn't this so cute? I love it so much. I think it would be adorable to create different sized houses in different colors and create a home decor piece for the holidays. So cute. So here's my little red house, and you can see the mortar is cut from cream, so it's much more noticeable. I'm going to do that same trick to add some snow to my roof line. And you might have noticed that I forgot to add the chimney on the last card, so I am going to do that. I'm also going to add snow to the chimney. So I added that snow for my back roof right there. And this house is going to have a white door with gray panels. So here is where I realized I forgot to add the chimney on the last card, so I'm just adding that now. It would be adorable if you added a Santa to the roof or some reindeer. Oh, and I forgot to say that I cut this house down to 7 inches tall. So if you want to make this into an A7 shaped card, you can do that, but I'm going to glue it on a slimline card panel. I just wanted my house to be a little bit shorter so that I can add my stamped images in the front of the house more. Have more room for them, I guess. So here I'm adding the wreath to my door with the red bow, along with the doorknobs. And I'm not going to open this door. I'm going to leave it flat. And here's what I was talking about, where you can layer the shadows with yellow to make it look like they're glowing from the inside. So you don't have to cut the windows out if you don't want to. So I think the only other thing I do for this house is add the welcome mat. Just add that last window. And then I'm going to add the lights at the top. I thought about doing yellow lights, but I love the running green just a little bit more. So that's what I went with again. And then I'll go in with my white gel pen and add those highlights. And then I'm going to work on the front of the house. So I thought I was going to add a fence. I don't end up using it. I just go with the snow hill that I'm showing here, and I cut that from white glitter cardstock. Both of those borders came in the Everyday Borders die set. So you can see I have a blue slimline panel here cut to 4 by 9 inches. I did add a little bit of snow texture using a Gina K stencil, but it's hardly noticeable. So if I were to do it again, I would just probably skip that step since the house covers a lot of it. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and glue my snowbanks. I'm going to glue the back one flat, and this front snowbank I'm popping up with foam tape. I already went ahead and glued my chimney. I wasn't sure if I wanted to pop up the house or not, so I'm not committing to that yet. I'm going to go ahead and pull in my different characters from German Winter Village. And of course, I didn't glue the chimney right, so I did rip that card panel, and I will fix that. Now I'm pulling in my various stamped images. I think this is so cute. So I have some trees, I have some different characters, I have the couple again. I went with the girl walking her dog. Just filling the bottom of this card. You can cut your house even shorter if you want to add more. But I thought this looked really cute. So I think that's all I'm going to do. Here's where I fixed that chimney mistake. I took some of that white glitter paper and I'm freehand cutting some smoke to come out of my chimney. In the end, it looks more like a cloud. So I end up just adding a bunch of clouds to the top to kind of balance the bottom. But at first I was kind of going for smoke. And then over to the top right, I'm going to stamp my sentiment. I'm going to go ahead and glue everything down now. Some of them I am popping up, others I am gluing flat. So this little girl with her dog I popped up with foam tape, as well as the couple. And Felix is coming to say hi. He will make another appearance, I think. All right, so now I'm going to glue down the house. And I'm going to add another glitter cloud over to the right. Oh, I guess I add another tree, because why not? And here I'm kind of going through my sentiments from that Hero Art stamp set, but I go with the same one. Now, I did not like how this looked stamped in black. I felt like I cluttered the card a little bit too much, and the black was very stark. So luckily, because VersaFine is a pigment ink, you can go over it with embossing powder, and I didn't think the white would work, but it did. So luckily, by white heat embossing it, that sentiment pushed back quite a bit, and it blended in with the clouds. I really prefer that over the black. So here I'm just heat setting the embossing powder. I added that third cloud, and then I'm going to add some gems to my wreath. I did that on the pop-up card as well. So here's Felix once again. Now I'm adding my white gel pen accents. And then all I have left to do is glue this on a slimline card base, and that is going to complete my second card. So thank you guys so much for joining me today. Please let me know what you guys think of the 2 cards that I created. I love this house so much. I can't wait for Halloween. I guarantee you guys there's going to be a haunted house add-on for this. Here's the first card I created. You can see that it stands upright. Here I'm opening the door so you can see what's inside. I love that little puppy on the rug, so cute. I will go ahead and link all of the products that I used in today's video. I hope you all have an amazing Memorial Day weekend. And if you have any questions, please leave them down in the comments and I will be sure to get back to you as soon as I can. All right, guys, bye.